Want to talk a little bit about the debate. Look, some of your supporters thought that you possibly interrupted a little bit too much, that if Joe got to talk a little bit more, he might have shown himself to be not very good, not very sharp. Is a second debate, I know we're not debating this week, it got shut down, they caught the moderator. Any chance of a showdown between you and Joe before the end of election? Are those conversations happening?
Yeah, I think so, but the problem is the anchors are all crooked. Now we have Kristen Welker. She's a disaster. You know, she's a never-Trumper from NBC. You know, all of NBC is never-Trump. That's Comcast, and they're all never-Trump, and they're bad news. That's MSDNC, you know, they're just bad news. But you know, my debate, I did well. Everyone thought I won the debate easily. And then 2 days later, they're saying I interrupted. But the truth is I had to interrupt because he was spewing all lies. So everything he said was a lie. And what I do is I'd say, that's not true. That's not true. And, you know, because he was saying a lot of things and they were lies. But the fact is that Chris Wallace, who's totally third rate, he kept saving the guy. When I said about, as an example, Greg, and by the way, say hello to your parents and everybody, what great genes you have, okay?
Okay.
And congratulations on your show, which is doing fantastically. I do your show even if it was doing lousy, but it's doing great. Okay, I get a little check anyway. You know, I always like check. How's he doing, Greg? Because we've been together a lot, and you're a fantastic young guy, and we really appreciate it.
Well, we've had
Hey, with what's going on in New York, it's so sad, Greg. It's so sad how they've ruined that place.
The situation is rough out there. The show, thank you, by the way, we have improved exponentially in the ratings. And by the way, Andrew Cuomo is out there dropping your name, saying that you tried to extort him. He's very critical of you in his new book. I do remember, though, that you gave him not only a hospital ship that he did not use, set up that center at the Javits Center, basically a hospital facility that he did not use. And as you know, he's come under immense and I think well-deserved criticism for sending all of those elderly patients back into nursing homes when they were already COVID positive.
He did a very poor job, and a very sad thing. Thousands and thousands of people died unnecessarily, #1 in our nation. And then he wrote a book. I guess it's a negative book. I don't know. Who the hell's going to read it? But I guess he wrote a book, and it's a negative. I mean, we gave him hospital. We gave him the Javits Center. He could have put those patients, and they never even used them. I mean, he actually hardly used them. And we spent a lot of money helping him, and he's very unappreciative. You know, he's a thug, and he's very unappreciative. And it's one of those things. They run New York. That's why people are leaving New York, because of people like him. He's a thug. He's a bully thug. And people don't need it because you have a lot of alternatives, like Florida, where everyone's leaving for Florida. And it's too bad because New York, it's always my place. You know, it's great. But you can't have thugs running it. And you got a lot of, you know, he's got prosecutors all over the place. He uses them to his gain. And he should be prosecuted, frankly, for what he's done. So it's a very sad thing that's happening in New York. When I see it going on, it's, you know, because I love New York.
Yeah, no, it's the quality of life is in a downward spiral. By the way, during the debate,
it happened so fast. I mean, it was happening from De Blasio, let's face it, but and Cuomo, but it's happened so fast. I mean, all of a sudden, it's like just it was like a crash. It didn't happen overnight. You know, this was going on for a long time, but then it just crashed. It's incredible, actually.
During the debate, you were asked about the racial training, sensitivity training that's taking place or was taking place in federal agencies. You didn't like it. You issued an executive order. My question to you...
Very important that you say was taking place, right? Yeah.
So let me ask you this. If somebody is undergoing that kind of training in the private sector, could you make the case, or do you think somebody could make the case that that contributes to a hostile work environment and perhaps they might have a case to sue?
Sure. It's racist. It's incredible how horrible it is. They teach you to hate our country. It's bad for our country. And it's a total race-baiting deal, and it's a shame. And I stopped it in the federal government. And I did a step further. Anybody that does it is not allowed to do business with the federal government. That's not bad.
You know, the media have been repeating or allowing Joe Biden to repeat this whole issue about Charlottesville. You came out very strongly. I heard you say it out loud that you think that white supremacists and neo-Nazis should be condemned. But Joe Biden has based his entire campaign on the idea that you didn't say that. And the media, there are people in the media, well-informed people, who do not know that you said that second part of that statement. I find that incredible.
Know it, but the media is more corrupt than Biden, and Biden's very corrupt. He's always been corrupt. Everybody knew he was corrupt, but now we caught him very, cold. But look what he did to General Flynn, right, with the Logan Act. No, Biden is a corrupt person, but the media is more corrupt because they don't bring it up. As an example, when we talked Charlottesville, I gave a perfect statement, but they cut off the end of the statement where I talked about that. But you know what? I'm really against Antifa. I'm against the radical left. The radical left are the ones burning down our cities. They're burning down our Democrat-run, stupidly run cities, Greg. The radical left Antifa. And I'm very much opposed to them. And for some reason, they're guarded by the liberals. I don't know why, but it's not happening much anymore because we're finding a lot of things. But the radical left Antifa and those, you look at Portland, this is all Antifa and the radical left.
Newsmax TV is now America's fastest growing cable news channel. We give you the real news you need. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up. If you like this video, share it with your friends. Newsmax TV streams live on YouTube for free. Newsmax TV, real news for real people.